Breaking. Britain has just been kicked out of Israel. Not tourists, not citizens, the entire British government banned. No entry, no exceptions. Benjamin Netanyahu didn't just close the door, he welded it shut. And the reason? He says Britain has betrayed its allies and handed victory to terrorists. This isn't a diplomatic spat, it's a full rupture, the kind that doesn't heal. If you want to see how this crisis unfolds hour by hour, hit that subscribe button now. Because this story is moving fast, and you don't want to miss what happens next. 4 days ago, Keir Starmer made 2 decisions that detonated this crisis. First, he backed ICC arrest warrants against Israeli leaders. Then he announced a total arms embargo on Israel, not just defensive weapons, but everything, including defensive systems Israel says it needs to stop rockets from hitting schools. What happened next was chaos. Dame Barbara Woodward, Britain's ambassador to the UN, didn't learn about these decisions from her own government. She learned from an Israeli diplomatic protest. Her resignation letter was written that same night. The Foreign Office was blindsided. The intelligence community was blindsided. Even David Lammy, the Foreign Secretary, had no idea what was coming. Then came Netanyahu's counterstrike. Lammy was mid-flight to Tel Aviv when Israeli authorities pulled his landing clearance. The plane turned around over the Mediterranean. Flight tracking apps caught it all. A foreign secretary of a G7 nation rejected in real time. Diplomats are calling it unprecedented, humiliating. A message sent loud enough for the entire world to hear. That night, Netanyahu appeared before cameras, flanked by his security cabinet, 9 p.m. Jerusalem time. His words were surgical. A nation that abandons its allies in their hour of need should not expect friendship in return. Within hours, Israel suspended intelligence-sharing frameworks worth billions. Mossad sources now classify British officials as security risks. Senior Israeli figures say the breach is permanent, irreversible. Those aren't just words, they're policy. And here's where it gets terrifying. Israeli intelligence has stopped 17 planned terror attacks on British soil. That pipeline just went dark. Israeli cyber firms protect critical British infrastructure. Energy grids, financial systems. That protection is being withdrawn. Defense partnerships valued at £12 billion are unraveling fast. And families who once relied on joint counter-terror programs are staring at a gap that cannot be filled. Michael Green knows this better than most. Israeli intelligence foiled a kidnapping plot against his daughter 3 years ago. He credits that collaboration with saving her life. That collaboration no longer exists. From Westminster, Starmer framed this as moral leadership, Britain taking a stand, Britain teaching lessons. But former MI6 chief Sir Alex Younger calls it the worst foreign policy decision since Suez. Lord Robertson warns Britain has just lost its most valuable intelligence partner in the region. These aren't partisan voices. They're the people who built the system Starmer just dismantled. And it gets worse. Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Bahrain, partners in the Abraham Accords, have quietly expressed sympathy with Israel's position. In a closed Gulf Cooperation Council session, ministers reportedly asked whether Britain's security guarantees still mean anything. Jordan is asking the same. Arab diplomats say decades of relationship building have been shredded in a single news cycle. London now finds itself distrusted by Arabs and Israelis simultaneously. A two-front diplomatic disaster. Markets reacted instantly. The pound dropped against the shekel. £30 billion in bilateral trade is now in question. British firms are being cut from Israeli tech consortia. Online, the hashtag Britain betrays its allies is surging. Jewish communities are asking a chilling question. Without Israeli intelligence, who keeps us safe? Inside number 10, panic is replacing policy. Defense Secretary John Healey called the decision strategically suicidal during a COBRA meeting. Home Secretary Yvette Cooper was overheard warning colleagues. We've made Britain a target without protection. WhatsApp groups inside the National Security Council now have names like Foreign Policy Disaster. No one is debating whether this was a mistake. They're debating how catastrophic it is. Then came the leak. MI5 assessments now circulating warn that Iranian proxies are already probing gaps created by the intelligence freeze. These reports point to planned operations timed specifically to exploit Britain's new blind spots.